Hey, it's Jeff with ID10T Garage, and we're just going to do a little bit of a hot rod power tour update. So, just wanted to talk about the Mustang and where we've got it. So I'm going to flip my camera around and we'll start talking about it. So this is where we sit today. As you can see, I've got the fenders on, got the doors on, and with the fenders on, I've got some gapping issues, so clearly I don't have the door on all the way, so I'm going to have to adjust that before I start putting any of my quarters on. I've got issues right here. This is way too tight on the quarter, so I'm going to have to rip this all the way out. I'm going to end up replacing this whole outer wheel housing, so I'm not happy. I wasn't happy with my patches on this side either, so it's another thing we have to work on. I've got one of these right here coming. A forum member on Vintage Mustang forum actually had one spare because he only needed a couple parts off of it, so I've got that on the way as well. So we got everything for the most part in a good area, but this has gone a lot slower than I expected. My engine's sitting right here. I mean, I've cleaned all the garage up and I've got everything ready to weld on, but it's just not going fast enough. So that being said, with everything in the state it's in, I mean, I need so much work. I've still got to patch the front rockers and the cowl drop downs. I've got to rerun the fuel lines, put the new fuel tank in, put the engine in, make sure everything's wiring, and there's a lot of stuff to do to the engine. I mean, it needs new all new pulleys installed. It needs a distributor. I mean, it's probably just not going to go. I mean, I've got 2 months essentially, and it's been determined that I'm just going to go ahead and take the 53 on the tour. I still got work to do on it, but it is running and driving. It's pretty much good to go. This is a F250 on an 01 Crown Vic CVPI, so the police interceptor. And I just got to do a couple things to it, so I've got time to get those things done. I've got to get this lower part cut out and a new one welded in, that way water's not getting in. I've got to replace the front and rear windshields because there's a big gaps here and on the front that I need to replace. So I really need to get new rubber, and it's pretty fogged up, so I've got new glass, so I need to work on that. I'm going to go ahead and put a filler panel in right here as well. I just got done wiring up the wipers, so I just did an electric conversion, so I'm going to have to finish that up. It's not completely mounted in, and unfortunately that wiper switch made it where I have to now push my radio out because the radio was hitting it, the new motor. So I'm already starting to 3D print a new mounting piece to push it out a little bit. So I'm going to have to redo that. That's why my interior is all torn apart. I'm sure there's a couple other things I need to do. The front is real rusty. I need to put some tail light. I'm sorry, not tail light, but some lights on the license plate. So I have to mount that and wire that in. But just a bunch of little stuff. And I've got 2 months basically to get that stuff done. Like I said, it's a running driving car. I'll probably flush the fluids in it as well. I took it out the other day before I started tearing apart for the wiper motor. But this is now officially the Hot Rod Power Tour vehicle. So going forward, not as many videos about the Mustang. I'm not going to work on it probably for at least a month or so. I got to get this stuff done with the truck first and get it ready for June. And then once the power tour is over, I'll be back to work full throttle on this bad boy. I just don't want to rush it. You know, it's just one of those things. This is my keeper car. It's an expensive car. I've got a lot of parts. All the sheet metal is not cheap, so I'm trying to make sure to do it right, and I don't want to rush through it. So there you guys go. That's my Hot Rod Power Tour update. I hate it's come to this. I was really thinking I was going to get this Mustang done and in time and back up and running, but it's just been issue after issue that has slowed the progress down. And unfortunately, I mean, we only got 6 weeks of real videos on it, but I've been working on this thing for a better part of a year now. Since last, basically, show season. I took it to one last show last year and parked it, started tearing it apart, and it's been, like I said, about a year, and just have not made the progress I had hoped. So that's it. Well, we'll catch you guys next week.
In my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping out.